lay down my burden.
Where?
Down by the riverside.
Say where?
Down by the riverside. Down by...
Well, it's really just an honor to keep the music alive, and that's why they're legends anyways, because of the music they made, and there'll never be another many of them.
It's simultaneously thrilling and daunting, just because everybody knows so much about all these performers, and being able to bring that out and have people relive kind of the memories of them performing is just a wonderful task.
Well, to follow that, everybody knows the song, so it's a little intimidating. You gotta be spot on every time. Otherwise, you just know the hack job.
It's fun though.
Yeah.
Yep. For sure.
By the riverside. I'm gonna lay down my burden.
Definitely a brown-eyed handsome man.
Yeah.
That's not written by any of our characters, but it's it's got a real nice little hook halfway there between. There's a little back and forth between Carl and Jerry, which is real good. And Dominique, I'm gonna paraphrase you here. There's a little bit of like a foreshadowing of kind of like a garage rock that will to come in the '60s. So it's really all-encompassing, just fun. It's just a fun song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Down by the Riverside. That's about the point in the show when everybody comes together and the harmonies are they're great in that song. So, and that's really kind of what happens in the show is we kind of come together in harmony. So I really love that song. It's my favorite too.
Growing up, my grandmother was a fan of Elvis and Johnny Cash and all that. So Blue Suede Shoes is probably my favorite because that was my introduction to this era of music. And growing up, I heard a lot of that. Blue Suede Shoes has always stuck with me. And right off the bat in the show, I mean, you get one of my favorites. Playing the drums too with that song is almost an honor. Listening to it my whole life. Got to be probably top 10 song at least, maybe top 5 even. A lot of nostalgia behind it too.
I would probably say Matchbox, we don't play it all the way through, because Ringo Starr said if they know Carl Perkins, there'd be no Beatles. And, excuse me, the Beatles introduced me to Carl Perkins because I saw one of my idols and I was like, wow, who do they like? Kept digging back. That's the first song I heard by him. I'll take that song.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Say where?
Down by the riverside.
I'm pretty sure I eat, live, sleep, and breathe Johnny Cash, so yeah.
I'll second that.
Yeah, I agree. He does.
I'm gonna say I identify with Elvis quite a lot. He's one of those people who off stage is very shy, doesn't talk all that much, but when he gets on stage, man, he's an animal.
I'm going to honestly say I don't identify with Jerry Lee Lewis, but he is a fun role to play. I mean, usually I'm just kind of a calm-mannered, laid-back person, but he is just, a hot shot, outgoing, and so I love being able to just turn that on and have fun with it. So.
I definitely, on some levels, identify with Carl Perkins. We both play the same kind of guitar, which is sloppy and excited. So that's it. I'm glad I get to play him because he just kind of sometimes just hits the strings real hard. And we both have horrible posture and like to drink. So I'm glad I get to play him.
Cut that out.
No, that's fine.
We can edit that in post.
Fluke is known to be in and out of jail a lot. He's kind of a little demon, So I can't say I relate to him too much, except for the fact that he enjoys having fun, laughing at people, little things in life. I can do that.
As the always enigmatic Major Wallflower that I am, Sam Phillips and I are not exactly on the same page with most things, but he is a very passionate man, and we do agree there. We're romantics when it comes to our art. It's just more forthright about it.
But
Study, war no more.
There's really no better feeling in the world playing with a group that's just tight as a drum, you know, from like the first meeting pretty much, you know, that's just out of sight. That doesn't happen very often, and it's crazy. But it's a great feeling.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, from day one, first song we played together was Blue Suede Shoes, and it went just about perfect. You know, the first time we played it, and I knew this was going to be a great show. And it's just, I got to say, it's a real honor to play with you guys.
Really
Same, as well. Yeah.
Some incredible instrumentalists and vocalists in this group, and yeah, we're really happy to be playing with people that are so passionate about music. So that's pretty awesome.
Dream come true, cast.
Yeah.
I don't perform with them musically, but just being there watching them, it's clear that these kids love what they're doing. And that's more than enough to thoroughly enjoy it every single bloody time. And that's a lot of time.
Well, ain't it gonna study?
One of the things that I thought was really, really interesting about Elvis was that he, when he was younger, was completely afraid of singing. Just wouldn't do it in public at all. Had a bunch of voice teachers and even people he auditioned for who told him he couldn't sing, told him he was terrible. And then for him to just come out and be the greatest rock and roll legend of all time is staggering.
I thought it was really interesting learning about how much of a family man Carl Perkins was. It's really admirable. I mean, he grew up really, really poor, living in a tiny shack, this whole family. As soon as he was old enough to walk, him and his big brother Jay had to start working the fields, picking cotton. They were sharecroppers. And then all the way up until they were adults, I mean, even when Jay and Carl got married, they just brought their wives back to the same house where the whole family lived. And then he obviously ended up playing, you know, when his career started, he was still playing with, you know, his two brothers and his brother's friend all the way up until, you know, I mean, he stayed married to the same woman his whole life. He's just a family man. And it was refreshing to read about, you know, like, you know, this dude's a rock star, and he's just like, well, you know, it's not as cool as hanging out with your loved ones.
Well, there's a scene in the play, it takes 1956, right, where everybody talks about the dead siblings, and then Perkins says to me, he said, "Oh, big brother's not looking too good for you." It's funny foreshadowing. Apparently he died in 1958. Did not know that. I learned that.
A year after this play takes place.
Couple of years,
Yeah.
Diane can juggle.
Awesome! I was waiting for you to say something. I knew you could do something more than just play that tambourine, shake the shit out of
Yeah.
Oh, no more. Ain't it gonna study? Whoa, no.
Jerry Lee Lewis is honestly my greatest influence. I got the opportunity to do this show a year ago, and prior to that, you know, I was a decent pianist, but didn't know if I could take on this role. It was, you know, it's a challenging role to play. I mean, Jerry Lee Lewis is one of the greatest piano players of all time. So I remember playing through Wild Child the first time, and it just felt like the first time I ever rode a bike. It was just the greatest feeling in the world, and ever since then I've really just loved playing music, and so it's something that I'm passionate about again because of Jerry Lee Lewis. So I have a lot of admiration for his music. Maybe not necessarily his personality, but but his music is definitely my greatest influence.
To be fair, you said people and not just characters. So I just want to say that I feel like a poser every day getting up here because these guys all play 2 to 3 instruments, like each. Like they could swap roles and the show would still be great, and it just blows my mind how ridiculously talented they are as musicians. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
You inspire me.
Shucks.
What she said for one, like, the fact, I mean, like, meeting you guys, and you're all, a lot of you make your living doing this, acting or playing music otherwise, and that's something that really inspires me to try to do with my life. And then Carl Perkins as well. You know, he was coming up with rock and roll songs long before anyone had heard about him. And then he's playing his own style of honky tonks, but those people are too drunk to care. And you know, by the time he got to meeting Sam Phillips, you know, Elvis was already kind of a thing. But Carl had been playing rock and roll for years before people had ever heard of Elvis, and you know, he's kind of didn't get the notoriety he deserved, I feel like, but that to me says that don't be afraid to be weird in making your own music, you know, 'cause, you know, he thought it was weird, and then soon it was the, you know, rock and roll, something that everyone everywhere always loved forever. So as far as creative endeavors, don't be afraid to do something that seems a little out there.
Yeah, and kind of dovetailing off of that, I think probably one of the most inspirational people in the show for me is Sam Phillips, just because he was the one that spearheaded the entire movement to really get rock and roll to the public instead of it just being in specific communities and such. And people thought he was crazy, that it was a fad, that it was gonna die out soon afterwards, but he always believed that this is the way music was going, and that's where it led.
St. Phillips is really the star of the show. I mean,
No question.
If there's something to learn from all of these characters, it's to never give up. None of them ever did, and it worked out pretty well, all things considered, even with short lifespans for the majority.
Yeah.
Like Raimi of Star Ocean 4 says, diligence, diligence, diligence.
Ain't gonna study war no more, no.
This is just, it's history. I mean, you'll never repeat it. You got 4 legends in one little bitty room together for the only time ever. And I mean, that's just history. And you just, I believe history repeats itself, but I don't see anything like that happening again, because there's nobody worth having together. I mean, would you want to see a show with Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande, and two other people?
I'm sure some people do.
Yeah, you gotta bring the writers and the producers in,
that's fair.
yeah, the marketing team, you know. It wouldn't be as magical.
What is the closest equivalent? Lady Marmalade from Moulin Rouge?
Speaking as someone who's been here since April, this is the most exciting show that I've gotten to be a part of yet here, and I'm really proud of it, and I think that really says something, and I think we're gonna rock people's socks off.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've kind of talked about this before. Just we need to revitalize the interest and remember the roots of it, because like I said, I got retroactive inspiration from people that were influenced by them. So for people to hear the original tunes that by the people that did it, that's important, you know.
This is the beginning of rock and roll we're talking about here.
Cool.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more.
I'm just stoked to perform this for a second time, and with this all-star cast here, these guys are phenomenal, and you know, it just goes to show you that there is talent all over. You got California, Louisiana, and I mean, just, you know, there's talent everywhere, and these people don't get the recognition and stuff they deserve either, you know, because there's more work in this stuff than meets the eye. Believe you me. Look at us. 2 weeks in a row, you know, long days working on this.
Yeah.
People are going to come on Friday and say, boy, they just got up there and are having the time of their lives. You weren't here the last 2 weeks.
Hey, I've been having fun.
I mean, yeah.
It's the funnest work I've ever done.
Yeah, that's something else I gotta say. I mean, I think I've really bonded with the cast here, and you know, that hasn't always been the case for any show I've been in. But I feel like we've really gotten along well, and you know, it's just I feel like, you know, there's a long friendship ahead. So
Yeah.
I think that's great.
I think that chemistry off stage really translates on stage, just to the amount of excitement that we have. Like, even just like from little shout outs like, hey, it's your turn to take a solo, it's your turn to take a solo, let's jive back and forth. Just that sort of thing. It creates kind of a magic in the air. And it's fun to be a part of that.
It's like a diamond in the rough too, really. I mean, how many times can you count that you get a cast that can play and sing the parts, and they also get along? I mean, that never happens. There's always one person. Not here, at least not for me anymore. You know?
Yeah.
For me, this is like my first professional cast. So, I mean, after these 2 weeks are up, I mean, I want to miss you guys, because I've been It's like this is like a point in my life of history. My first show with your kind of talent. I set the bar high for the next one.
Ain't gonna study.
Thank you guys. Come see us.
See you in Dollar Quartet. Playing through August 12th. They even feed you. I mean, what else could you want?
Whoa.